It's Coach Hatter here, going over barbell single leg RDLs. So why this is a good movement, as you're going to see, it's similar to pin leg row where you're restarting off the ground every single time. At least that's the way I do it, and that's why I program it for my athletes to do it. Specifically, I do that because you're trying to build a good mind-muscle connection, just like you would for your first pull for deadlift, where you're pushing through your posterior chain to get the bar moving. And so people who have issues where they're starting to pull, and while they're trying to pull, their butts rise up, and then their point of tension moves from their hips, glutes, up to the lower back, which is obviously bad. This is going to help fix that and obviously just strengthen that posterior chain. All right, so equipment you need, nothing really crazy. I would just say any type of flat shoe, so like Metcons are fine, Converses are fine. Any type of deadlift shoe. If you like doing it barefoot, that's great too. The only shoes you really want to not use would be running shoe, any type of squat shoe, shoes that have like big heels. Right, that's pretty much it. Like I said, barefoot, completely fine. Why I like using a barbell for this? So I already mentioned how it's similar to a deadlift. Your range of motion, you're having to go a little lower than you would if it was a kettlebell, because the kettlebell has a handle. You can be somewhat higher depending on the kettlebell. The balance with the kettlebell, excuse me, is a little harder. So I would say the kettlebell is probably better because you're not able to load your muscles as much. If you are coming off an injury, you're rehabbing your knee or ankle, obviously it's a great movement for that with the bar or kettlebell, just because you are having to use that one knee stabilizers along with just pushing through that single leg. Okay, now how to actually execute the movement. So weight-wise, you shouldn't be doing more than like a little over 30%, whatever your 1 rep max is. You should not be going super heavy. You should be able to go single, or you should be able to do just double overhand. If you're having to do mixed grip, then probably you're going too heavy. Yeah, so if I'm gonna start with my left leg, I have it straight, somewhat in the middle of the barbell, obviously like maybe slightly canted to the side, right? Your other offset leg can be either off the ground already or just like somewhat behind it, right? I'm gonna get positioned, like I said, double overhand. I don't really count the first rep, just like you're going down on a dumbbell flat bench, right? All right, so I'm going down, touching, coming up. All right, so some things to note. I like practicing that valgus effect of breathing, just like I do for regular deadlifts. So I'm taking that big breath, pulling, coming up. Of course, it does leave you out of breath whenever you're done with your set. Your right leg or your offset leg, in this case, my right one. Oh man, you can keep it off the ground the entire time, or if you need to because your balance is bad, you can let it touch in between each rep, or you can keep it barely on the ground every rep. Just the goal is obviously to just use that left leg. If you're losing your balance, in addition to keeping your right leg or offset leg on the ground, probably going too heavy, you need to go lighter. It is what it is. As you can see, there's some knee flexion, right? When I'm going, I'm somewhat bending my knee. It's not like your regular stiff leg deadlift, just because you are using one leg, so you might need to bend more, and you don't want too much rounding of the back. Not that rounding of the back is necessarily terrible for a movement like this, because you're not going super heavy. And also, like with big asterisks, there's nothing wrong with rounding your back to a point. Obviously, you have cat back. Yeah, that's bad. But like, you look at a Zerker deadlift, you're rounding your back. Strongmen, saying, power lifters, even equipped lifters, even though I hate them, round their back. Some of the strongest people in the world. So there's nothing inherently necessarily wrong with it. But, yeah. So when I do my other set, I like taking a break in between them, as you should. If you can just go straight, that's okay. Ideally, though, you do want to be taking that break. The bar placement for this movement, I would say, is about right here, depending on your leverages. So basically, like how long your torso to leg ratio along with arms is going to affect how far you're having to push your knee back or your glutes back and how much you're having to bend your knee. But your bar should be roughly a little further out in front of you because you're coming straight down versus riding it up your shins. But yeah, that's it.